Bangaloreans, planning air travel? Here are the new guidelines to keep in mind. Are you looking to travel during the quarantine and not sure about the rules and guidelines? Here is the complete list of things to keep in mind when traveling via air during the COVID-19 times. Airport guidelines. While presently, travel isn't encouraged and should be kept minimal, some have to go through the process for various reasons, including returning to their hometowns, returning back to Karnataka, and for business reasons. Traveling via air is already an elaborate process that requires documents to be produced and care to be taken. The onset of the pandemic has not made it easier. Airports are now functioning across the country, and if you intend to travel in the coming days, during, or even after the present lockdown in Bangalore, here are guidelines to follow. For domestic passengers and international flights. Number 1. All international commercial flight services to and from India have been suspended till July 31, 2020. The restrictions are not applicable to international cargo operations and flights approved by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA. Number 2. Passengers arriving from all the Indian states, including Maharashtra, will have to do a mandatory 14 days of home quarantine, as mentioned in the Government of Karnataka order dated July 6, 2020. Number 3. Passengers arriving at the airport must register on the Save Sindhu portal of Karnataka of Government before boarding. In case anyone fails to register or provides incorrect information, he or she will be penalized as per Section 51B of the Disaster Management Act 2005 and Section 188 of the Indian Penal Code. Number 4. If a passenger is found symptomatic, he or she will be taken to a designated COVID-19 hospital for further examination from the airport. If tested negative after the reports, he or she will have to be under home quarantine for 14 days. Number 5. Taxis will be available at the airport, and all the taxis will be sanitized and drivers will be screened after every trip. Number 6. There will be no quarantine for a transit passenger, as long as they don't leave the airport. Guidelines for business travelers. This section includes those who are traveling via flights and intend to return within 48 hours. Number 1. Must have a valid return ticket. Number 2. Must provide all the details of the persons intended to meet with during your stay in Karnataka. Number 3. No quarantine and hand stamping for such visitors. For the business travelers returning within 7 days of arrival, keep the below in mind. Number 1. Must have a valid return ticket. Number 2. Must provide all the details of the persons intended to meet during your stay in Karnataka. Number 3. The person will have to undergo a paid coronavirus test on arrival at the airport. Number 4. Institutional quarantine for 48 hours until the results are received. Number 5. To avoid the quarantine and COVID-19 test, the person must show his/her ICMR-approved coronavirus negative test report, not more than 48 hours old. We hope you have a safe trip and take the necessary precautions when traveling.